everyone, welcome back to channel NIE. Today we are here to discuss some revision problems for your mathematics paper 2. Do you know that mathematics paper 2 is designed with part A and part B. In part A you have 3 problems from algebra, and in part B you have 3 problems from geometry. And also in paper 2 you have 4 essay type questions and the rest are structured problems. Okay, let's move on to some problems and discuss how can you obtain marks, how do you write the answers. To discuss all these things, we have prepared some revision problems. So, shall we move on? Do you know that secret of nature is written in mathematics? Yes, by looking at these pictures, you can see them. Okay, we'll see how to answer the questions in your mathematics paper. Right, we'll discuss one by one. The first problem, as I told you, it's an essay type question. Here, by looking at this problem, you may think this is very difficult problem, but after reading this, you will realize that how easy is answering this type of question. Okay, read the problem. Upul deposits 60,000 rupees in a bank which pays 10% compound interest rate. The bank calculates interest annually. Upul invests another 60,000 rupees in buying shares of a company at the market price 50 rupees per share. The company pays annual dividend of 2 rupees per share. At the end of 2 years, after obtaining dividends for both years, he sells all his shares at a price of 55 rupees each. By considering this dividend income, capital gain and compound interest, explain with reasons whether it is more profitable for Upul to deposit money in the bank or to invest in share market. Once you are given such problem, by reading once, if you do not understand it, you can read it again. After reading it clearly, you can write step by step to obtain the answer. Okay, we'll see how to solve this problem. So, directly you can calculate the total amount received from compound interest, which is 60,000 times 110 over 100 times 110 over 100. This gives the amount at the end of the first year, and from this you can calculate it for the second year. So, finally, you will get the amount as 72,600 as the amount at the end of 2 years under compound interest. Then we can calculate the total interest because Upul deposited 60,000 rupees now and he got 72,600 rupees as the total amount after 2 years. Then the total interest he received is 12,600 rupees. Okay, then we can move on to the shares, isn't it? Again he invested 60,000 rupees to buy shares. Okay, then how many shares he can buy? Yes, 1,200. Then for that he get the dividend income of 4,800. How do you get this amount? Because the number of shares is 1,200 and per share the dividend income is 2 rupees per year. Then for the 2 years you have to again multiply that by 2. Likewise, you will get 4,800 as the dividend income. Okay, then you can find the capital gain too, because it says after 2 years Upul sold all his shares, isn't it? Then by selling his shares, he gained 6,000 rupees because capital gain per share is 5 rupees. Then for total of 1,200 shares, it's 6,000. Right. Now you can calculate the total income for the shares. It is 4,800 plus 6,000, which is 10,800. So, earlier you got 12,600 under compound interest, and here for shares he got 10,800. Now, you can compare these two. 12,600 is greater than 10,800. By comparing these two values, you can finalize your answer by saying it is more profitable to deposit money in the bank. See how easy. Now, we will see how you get the marks. For the first step, you will get 3 marks because you have to calculate the total amount at the end of 2 years. Because some students, they calculate the interest for the first year, then they add it to the initial amount, then they again calculate the interest for the second year likewise and obtain this 72,600 rupees. For those steps also you will get marks. So, for 3 marks for the correct steps simplification and 1 mark for 72,600. Then you can score another 1 mark for the difference of the total interest, and by calculating number of shares you can obtain another 1 mark. Likewise, you will get marks for this question and you can get the total of 10 marks. How easy. Though it is an essay type question, if you write the steps clearly one by one, you can got the answer. Right. You got 10 marks for this. Shall we move on to the second question? Okay, look at the question. Here you have 2 parts. In part A, you are given a simple equation with algebraic fractions. You are asked to solve this. I know that all of you have done this correctly. Check whether your answer is correct. Here, first we have to take the fractions with equal denominators to one side of the equal sign. So, after that you can make it one fraction. Then you can easily find the value of x by cross multiplying these two, or else you can make the denominators equal since the numerators are equal. So, finally, you get 2x minus x equals minus 1 and hence x equals minus 1. So, for this you will get 1 mark for this step and another 1 mark for the answer and the total of 2 marks. Right, we will see the second part of the second question. Part B. It says the mass of brinjals a vendor had was 5 kilograms more than twice the mass of capsicum he had. Vendor obtained a total of 9,400 rupees by selling 1 kilogram of brinjals at 120 rupees and 1 kilogram of capsicum at 200 rupees. First, you are asked to build up a pair of simultaneous equations by taking the mass of brinjals as x and mass of capsicum as y. Secondly, by solving the simultaneous equations, find the mass of brinjals and mass of capsicum separately. In third part, show that the mass of brinjals that can be bought for 500 rupees is twice as the mass of capsicum that can be bought for 500 rupees when the price of brinjals has increased by 5 rupees and capsicum by 50 rupees. Okay, this question is again under algebra. We will see how to solve this. The important thing here is you have to build up a connection between these, the mass of brinjals and the mass of capsicum and their prices. We will see how to do that. Since it says the mass of brinjals a vendor had was 5 kilograms more than the twice of the mass of capsicum, we can build up that equation like x equals 2y plus 5. X is the mass of brinjals, it is twice the mass of capsicum and 5 more. That is why we write 2y plus 5. Okay. Then we can write this equation as x minus 2y equals 5, and you can name it as 1, and the second equation can be built up by the second sentence in this problem. What it says? A vendor obtained a total of 9,400 rupees by selling 1 kilogram of brinjals at 120 rupees and 1 kilogram of capsicum at 200 rupees. So, 120 times x plus 200y equals 9,400. Now, these are the two equations and we can solve this for x and y. Now, for each equation you get 1 mark and for both you get 2 marks. So, we will see how to solve them for x and y. First, we have to make the coefficient of one unknown equal. Then we can eliminate that to find the other unknown. Likewise, we can solve this for x and y. Once we multiply the first equation by 100, we get 100x minus 200y equals 500, and we can name it as the third equation. And once we add second equation and third equation, we get 220x equals 9,900, when the value of x will be 45. Okay. Then here to get the equation 220x equals 9,900, you can score 1 mark, and for the answer another 1 mark. Now, we have to find the value of y also. We will see how to do that. We can substitute the value of x in the first equation. Then x minus 2y equals 5 is the first equation, and we got x equals 45. Then 45 minus 2y equals 5. Then what is y? Yes, have you all got 20 as the answer of y? Okay, then your answer is correct. Then you get 1 mark for that, and writing the mass of brinjals and capsicum separately, you will get another 1 mark. Altogether 4 marks for the part 2. Right. Okay. Now, in the third part, we have to show that the mass of brinjals that can be bought for 500 rupees is twice as the mass of capsicum that can be bought for 500 rupees. Okay, when the prices are increased like this, right. Then earlier 1 kilo of brinjals 120 rupees and 1 kilo of capsicum is 200 rupees. Now, they are increased to 120 rupees for 1 kilo of brinjals, increased to 250 rupees. That is the price of 1 kilo of capsicum. Accordingly, we can calculate the mass of brinjals that can be bought for 500 rupees. How many 125s are there in 500? It is 4. So, you can have 4 kilograms of brinjals for 500 rupees. Then capsicum, yeah, 1 kilo is 250 rupees. Then you can have only 2 kilos of that. Then it is, yes, 2 times 2 is 4. So, you can say therefore, the mass of brinjals is twice the mass of capsicum. Now, you showed that. For that again you get 2 marks. Right. That is the end of the second question. So, let us move on to another question. We will see what is it. It is again under the theme algebra. Earlier it was simultaneous equations, now it is quadratic equations. We will see what it says. Following is a figure of a circular lamina of radius x and a semicircular lamina of radius x plus 3. If the area of the circular lamina is equal to the area of the semicircular lamina, show that x satisfies the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x minus 9 equals 0. Solve the quadratic equation and find the radius of the semicircular lamina to the nearest first decimal place. Right, easy problem. We will see how to do that. Right, you know the area of a circle of radius r is 5r squared. Accordingly, the area of the given circle is 5x squared because the radius here is x. Right. Similarly, you can write the area of the semicircle, it is half of a circle, and here the radius is x plus 3. So, with that you have to write the area of the semicircle as 5 times x plus 3 to the power 2 over 2. Now, by making these two areas equal, you can obtain the given quadratic equation. We will see how to do that. First, you can cancel 5 from both sides. Then, once you expand x plus 3 to the power 2, you get x squared plus 6x plus 9, and you can cross multiply. Then you get 2x squared. Then at the end, you will get the given quadratic equation. Okay. Now, we have to solve this for x. We will see how to do that. Right. By obtaining the area of the semicircle, you get 1 mark, and making them equal another 1 mark, and to simplify it for the final quadratic equation, another 1 mark. Altogether 3 marks for that. Here I have used completing squares method. So, to complete the square in the left hand side, we have to add 9. Here, to solve the quadratic equation, I used the method of completing squares. You can use the formula too. Now, we will see using completing squares how to solve this for x. First, we have to make the left hand side in a perfect square. To do so, we have to add a constant value. What is that constant value? That is the half of the coefficient of x, which is 3, and the square of that, which is 9, minus 3 squared is 9. So, that is what added to the left hand side and right hand side. Next, you get the square of x minus 3, which is equal to 18. Okay. Then you know how to solve this. First, we have to get the square root of 18. Once you get the square root of 18, you must put plus or minus. Plus and minus are very important here. Then x equals plus or minus 3 root 2. You know how to simplify surds. Okay. Then what is x? X is 3 plus or minus 3 root 2. Right. From this, you can find the value of x by substituting the given value of root 2 to this expression, isn't it? Here, root 2 is given as 1.41. Once you substitute, you get x equals 3 plus or minus 4.23. Therefore, x can be 7.23 and x can be minus 1.23. There are two answers, but we have to reject one answer because of what? Because it is a negative answer. Here we reject it. In the given figure, we are talking about the radius. Radius is a length. It cannot be a negative value. So, we can reject x equals minus 1.23 and we take the final answer as 7.23 for x. But this is not the answer they expect. They expect the radius of the semicircle, which is x plus 3. So, x plus 3 means 7.23 plus 3, which is 10.23, but you have to keep the answer to the first decimal place. So, it becomes 10.23. 2 centimeters. So that's how we obtain the last answer by writing correct steps. So for this step you get 1 mark, and for the square root of 18 1 mark, and then finding the square root of 18 as 3 root 2 another 1 mark, then substituting the value of root 2 another 1 mark. Likewise here you can obtain a total of 10 marks. See how easy. For the third question, 10 marks. It's an essay type question. Right, that's the end of third question. Now we are going to discuss the fourth question. Are you ready? Okay, let's go on. Following is a group frequency distribution on data collected on the masses of rubber sheets collected daily by a particular boutique that collects rubber sheets. Right, they are given in kilograms. You can see the frequency distribution. According to that, what is the highest possible mass of rubber that could have been collected daily at the boutique? Okay. Then the second question, what is the model class interval of this frequency distribution? And next, using a suitable method, find the mean mass of rubber sheets collected daily by the boutique. In fourth one, find the income earned by the vendor at the boutique when he sells the monthly collection at 300 rupees per kilogram. And in the last part, it says it is forecasted that the supply of rubber sheets will rise by 20% while the price will decrease by 10%. Show that the monthly income for the next month or the following month will rise by more than 40,000 rupees. We will see how to answer these questions one by one. First one is very easy. You are asked to find the highest possible mass, which is 100. It's 100 here. So, it's 100 kilograms. Then what is the model class of this frequency distribution? That is the class interval corresponding to the highest frequency. Okay. So, the highest frequency is 6 and the class interval is 50 to 60. Okay. Now, for the first two parts, you have 2 marks. Now, let us move on to the third part of this question. It says, using a suitable method, find the mean mass of rubber sheets collected daily by the boutique. We will see how to do this. Now, you are asked to use a suitable method, either assume mean or using fx column. Right, here I have used fx column. Then, in order to obtain the fx column, first we have to find the mid value of each class interval. When considering the class interval 20 to 30, mid value is 25. How do you obtain that? That is the average of 20 and 30. That is the simple way of finding the mid value. 20 plus 30 is 50, divided by 2 gives 25. In 30 to 40, in that class interval, 35 is the mid value. And also you can see a pattern in mid value column. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85 and 95. Now, these mid values can be multiplied by each frequency to obtain the fx value. Once you multiply 25 by 3, you get 75. So, 35 times 40 is 140. Likewise, you can complete the fx column. Accordingly, you can obtain sigma fx value, which is 1680. Please double check these values, otherwise you may get incorrect answer for the mean. Okay. and also you have to get the value of sigma f, sum of the frequencies, which is 30 here. Okay. Then you can easily find the mean by dividing sigma fx value by sigma f. Then you will get the mean mass of rubber sheets collected daily as 56 kilograms. For this, you will get marks like this. See, how many marks? Total of 5 marks you can obtain for the third part. Right. So, after completing this step, we have to move on to the fourth part. It says to find the income earned by the vendor at the boutique when he sells the monthly collection at 300 rupees per kilogram. How do you calculate the income? We will see. You know that we got 56 as the mean value per day, and there are 30 days per month. Then for 1 kilo it is 300 rupees. For 1 kilo it is 300 rupees. By multiplying all these, you will get the income as 504,000 rupees. So, if you get the correct answer, you will get 1 mark, and in the next part we will see what we have to do. It is forecasted that the supply of rubber sheets will rise by 20% while the price will decrease by 10%. We have to show that the monthly income for the next month will rise by more than 40,000 rupees. So, how do you obtain the answer for this part? We will see how to do that. First, we have to find the 20% increment in the rubber supply. How do you calculate that? Mass of the expected rubber sheets. Now, we know that 56 times 30 is the mass of the rubber sheets in the previous month, which is 1680. We have to get the increment by 20%, which will be 2016 kilograms. We have to find 120 of 100 to 1680. After that, we can calculate the expected price for that rubber sheets, because it says it will decrease by 10%. It will decrease by 10%. Then we can calculate the price as 270. Earlier it was 300, decreased by 10%. Then the new price will be 270 rupees. Then we can calculate the expected monthly income for the following month, which is 2016 times 270 rupees, which will be 544,320. Okay. Once you got this 544,320 rupees, you can get the difference of the earlier amount and the new amount, that is the increased amount in the income, which is 40,320 rupees. Now, we know that this is greater than 40,000. Now, we know that this is greater than 40,000 rupees. So, you can finalize the answer by giving the price will be increased by more than 40,000 rupees. You have to compare this. Okay. So, for that you will get the marks 1, 2 for this. So, for the fourth question also you got 10 marks, and that is the end of part A. We discussed 4 questions for the part A, and now I hope to discuss another 5 questions for the part B. Shall we move on to part B? Okay. Here I thought of giving a problem from arithmetic progression and geometric progression for the 5th question. What it says? The diagram given is of piece of cloth with a design. First line has 3 flowers and next line has 5 flowers in the design. The design is arranged such that there are always 2 flowers more than that of the previous line. Find the number of flowers in the 10th line and find in which line will 41 flowers be. Next, show that the total number of flowers in n number of lines will be n squared plus 2n. Next, we will see how to find the answer for the first part. It is very easy since you are very familiar with arithmetic progressions. First, we have to write the terms in this pattern 3, 5, 7. Okay. So, what is the first term? It is 3. So, A equals 3 and we can find the common difference in this pattern. If there is a common difference, it is in arithmetic progression. Then we can use the formulae in arithmetic progressions. Right. Here the common difference is 2. So, we can use the formula Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. Once you substitute the given values in this equation, you get the number of flowers in the 10th line, which is 21. Okay. For this you will get 1 mark and 1 mark for finding D. Altogether 2 marks for the part 1. Now, we will see the answer for part 2. We have to find in which line will 41 flowers be. Then again we have to use the same formula, but here you are given Tn equals 41. Then A equals 3, here we do not know n, we are going to find the value of n and the common difference is 2. So, once you solve this for n, you will get the value of n as 20. So, how many marks for this? We will see 1 mark for substituting, another 1 mark for the answer, altogether 2 marks again. Right. We are in the third part. Show that the total number of flowers in n number of lines will be n squared plus 2n. How do you do that? We know the formula is Sn equals n over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. That is the formula of finding the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic progression. We can substitute the values we know. Here n is unknown, but we know the value of a as 3 and d equals 2. So, again you have to simplify this to obtain the given expression. So, you can remove brackets, then here you have a common factor, you can take it out, and by simplifying you will get n times 2 plus n. After removing bracket, you will get the given expression, which is n squared plus 2n. So, how easy? You will get 1 mark for this substitution and another 1 mark for the answer. Actually, here not for the answer, but the steps that you have to use to obtain the answer. Accordingly, you will get 2 marks for that. Right. That is the end of the third part, and you are given part B of 5th question as another pattern of flowers was arranged as 3, 6, 12, 24 likewise. Find the number of flowers in the 8th line of this pattern, and in the second part you have to find the line in which there will be 1536 flowers. Okay, we will see how to do that. This is under what? Yeah, you know, it is under geometry progression, but first we have to identify it. To identify whether it is in geometry progression, we have to find whether there is a common ratio. Of course, there is. You can find the common ratio by dividing the following term from the previous term of 2 consecutive terms. If you do so, you will get the common ratio as 2. Right. We will see how to find the number of flowers in the 8th line. Yeah, we have to use the formula Tn equals AR n minus 1 in geometric progression. So, Once you substitute the values, you will get the answer as 3 times 128, which equals 384. Here you can obtain this 2 to the power 7 as 128 easily, isn't it? If so, you can get the final answer very quickly. How many marks for that? 2 marks for substituting values and obtaining the answer. You will get 2 marks. Right. Then the second part of that, we have to find the line in which there will be 1536 flowers. Again, we have to use the same formula. Here take n equals 1536. Accordingly, we can find that 2 to the power n minus 1 equals 512. Right. After obtaining this step, what you have to do? See, 512 can be written as 2 to the power 9. Now, in this equation, bases are same, so we can make equal the indices. So, you will get a simple equation like 9 equals n minus 1, and finally, you have n equals 10. So, in the 10th line, there will be 1536 flowers. Okay. So, check whether you got both marks. Right. If so, for the problem 5, you get 10 marks. Right. I hope all of you got the whole mark for this problem. Okay. Now, we are in the 6th question. It has again 2 parts. In part A, it says part of a right circular cylinder of base radius r is filled with water. To this cylinder, 20 solid metallic spheres of radius 0.5 centimeters are put. If the level of water rises to a height of h, show that h equals 10 over 3 r squared. And you are given that to assume that all the metallic spheres immerse in water and there will be no spilling of water as the water level rises. Further, you are given the volume of a sphere of radius r is 4 over 3 times 5 r cube and volume of a right circular cylinder of base radius r is 5 r squared h. Okay, let us see how to solve this problem. First, we can easily find the volume of 20 spheres. Volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 times 5 r cube and we have to multiply it by 20 to find the volume of such 20 spheres. Then, we can substitute the value of r as 0.5, then you get this expression. Then, you can find the volume by which the water level rises in the cylinder, which is 5 r squared h. Okay, using these two expressions, we can get this equation by making these two expressions equal. So, you get 5 r squared h equals 4 over 3 times 5 times 0.5 to the power 3 times 20. Here easily you can simplify the term 5 and you will get h equals 4 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 20 and over 3 r squared. So, by simplifying this you will obtain the given expression for h. So, I hope all of you got this answer. If so, you get 1 mark for the finding of the volume of 20 spheres and you get another 1 mark for the expression of 5 r squared h. After that, by making them equal, you will obtain another 1 mark. By simplifying and obtaining the given answer, you will get another 1 mark. Altogether 4 marks for that. Right. Now, we will see what is in part B of the 6th question. Using the logarithmic tables, find the value of x to to the nearest second decimal place. Here we have to apply the logarithm laws. If you apply logarithm laws, you will get this as log x equals log 0.4782 plus 2 times the logarithm 1.456 and minus half of log of 0.08563. Here you know how to write this power 2 and how to write this square root when you apply logarithm laws. Accordingly, you can find the log value of each term. Then you will get the log value of 0.4782 as bar 1.6796. Here bar 1 becomes from the scientific notation of this number. Once you write this in scientific notation, you will get it as 4.782 times 10 to the power minus 1. So, this minus 1 becomes bar 1 in log value. Accordingly, you will get 2 times the log value of 1.456 is 0.1632 minus half times bar 2.9327. You can simplify this further. Here you have to multiply by 2 and divide by 2. Accordingly, you will get the next step as 1.6796 plus 0.3264 minus bar 1.4663. Okay. Right. Now, we have to simplify this further. Then you get 0.5397. You know how to add them and subtract. You have to find the antilog of 0.5397 in order to find the value of x. Then you will get the value of x as 3.465. So, you have to keep the answer to the second decimal place. So, it becomes 3.47. So, if you have found this answer, you will get the marks as follows. We will see here 1 mark for this and total of 6 marks for this part B. Right, you can score 6 marks for logarithm part. Right. Now, we have 10 marks for the question 6. Let us move on to the problem 7. We will see what is in 7th problem. It is a construction. Construction is under geometry. Right. We will see what we have to do there. Use a straight edge with a scale of centimeter, millimeter and do the following construction showing all construction lines clearly. First part, construct a triangle with AB equals 4.2 centimeters, BC equals 5.5 centimeters and the angle ABC equals 120 degrees. In second part, we have to construct the perpendicular bisector of AC and name the point it meets BC as D. In third part, you have to construct the circle that goes through the points A, D, C. Measure and write the radius of this circle. Construct a tangent to the circle at A. In last part, you have to show that the angle ADC is greater than 120 degrees. We will see how to construct this figure step by step. First of all, we have to construct a triangle. You are given the lengths of AB and BC. So, first we take 4.2. AB is 4.2 centimeters. Then we have to construct the angle ABC which is 120 degrees. You know how to construct 120 degrees using a pair of compasses. 60, another 60. So, you can join these 2 points to make a straight line. After that, we have to take 5.5 centimeters along with this straight line to find the point C. So, BC is 5.5 centimeters. Now, we have to complete the triangle. So, by joining AC, we can complete the triangle ABC. If you have done the first part, you will get 3 marks. How you get these 3 marks? Yeah, 1 mark for constructing AB and BC, and another 1 mark for the angle ABC, and completing the triangle, another 1 mark, altogether 3 marks. Then in the second part, construct the perpendicular bisector of AC, and we have to name the point it meets BC as D. Right, you know how to construct a perpendicular bisector of a given straight line. So, you can apply it here. Right, this is the perpendicular bisector of AC, and the point it meets BC is D. Right, okay. Then for this part, you get 2 marks for the perpendicular bisector, 1 mark, and another mark for marking D. Right, that is the end of second part. In the third part, we have to construct the circle that goes through the points A, D and C. After that, we have to measure and write the radius of this circle. First, we will construct the circle. Right, to construct the circle, which is passing through the points A, D, C, means we have to construct the circumcircle of the triangle ADC, isn't it? Right, in order to construct the circumcircle, we have to construct another perpendicular bisector of another side of this triangle. That is what I am doing here. See, once you drew 2 perpendicular bisectors, the point of intersecting of these 2 bisectors, we will get a point O. Now, we have to take the radius to draw the circle. So, the distance between O and A, O and D, O and C is the radius of this circle. So, by taking one of the radii, you can draw the circle like this. Right. Now, we can measure the radius. You can use your ruler to measure the radius, and here it is 5.4 centimeters. And it is very important, dear students, to draw a rough sketch before constructing the given figure. Right, keep that also in your mind, and we will see how many marks you will get for this. 2 marks. 2 marks, 1 for drawing the circle, and another 1 mark for measuring and writing the radius of the circle. Okay, that is third part. Now, we are in the fourth part of the seventh question. Here you have to construct a tangent to the circle at A. How do you construct a tangent at a point on a circle? We have to use that concept. Okay, first we have to draw the line OA, which is the radius of the circle, and we have to produce it further. Then we have to construct a perpendicular at the point A. So, you can construct it like this, and that is the tangent to the circle at A. Right. If you have done it correctly, again you can score 2 marks. Right. For the tangent, you can get 2 marks. Then at the last part of this question, we have to show that ADC is greater than 120 degrees. How do you show that? Now, earlier we constructed 120 degrees at B. Okay? Right. Then we have to consider the angle ADC. Check whether you can find a relationship between these two angles. Yes, of course. You know that the exterior angle formed when a side of a triangle is produced, that exterior angle is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. Therefore, by using that theorem, we can show ADC is greater than 120 degrees, because we have to add the angle BAD to this 120 degrees, isn't it? So, it is obvious that the angle ADC is greater than 120 degrees. Right. To show that relationship, you will get 1 mark. Okay. Now, I think that's the end of 7th question, and hope you all got 10 marks out of 10 for the construction problem. Right. Shall we move on to the 8th question? Right. We'll see what's it. 8th question is under sets and probability. Right. Here it is given that below is an incomplete Venn diagram drawn to represent data on the language of books used by 150 readers who have come to a certain library. Right. You are given that users of Sinhala language books in S letter, users of English language books in E letter, users of Tamil language books in T letter. Okay. Then you have few parts of this problem. What's the first one? The number of readers who used Sinhala language books is 90. Represent this information on the Venn diagram and find the number of readers who used only Sinhala language books. And in the second part, it is given that the number of readers who used Tamil language books is 35 and 17 used only Tamil language books. Represent this information on the Venn diagram and find the number of readers who use books of 2 languages. Okay. You have another part, which is if n S union T union E equals 145, you have to find n S union T union E complement of that and the number of elements in E, the set E. Right. There is another part of that problem, which is fourth part. It says there were 10 new readers, out of whom 5 used books of all 3 languages, 2 used books of Sinhala and Tamil language, and the remaining 3 used only English language books. Include this new information and draw a separate Venn diagram. Right, last part of this problem is, according to the new Venn diagram, find the number of readers who used Tamil language books. Okay, we will see one by one. Right, the first part is this. You have to find the number of readers who used only Sinhala language books. So, it is given that total of users of Sinhala language books is 90. Then again it says represent this information on the Venn diagram and to find the number of readers who used only Sinhala language books. So, you can easily find the answer as 60 by completing this circle, isn't it? Sum of these 3 regions gives the value 90. So, if you know 90 and if you subtract the sum of 20 and 10 from 90, you will get the answer here. Right, for that answer you can score 2 marks. After representing this information on the Venn diagram, we have to find the number of readers who use books of 2 languages. So, to find that answer, we have to add this 20, 10 and 8. Then you will get the answer as 38. Right. If you have found the answer 38, you will get 2 marks. Then, in the third part, it is very easy. You can easily find the value of complement of n S union T union E as 5, because the total is 150, if you subtract 145 from 150, you will get this 5. And what is NE? NE, here we have to find the total of this circle, isn't it, which is 20 plus 30 plus 8. You get the answer 58. Okay. For these two parts, you will get another 2 marks. Right, that is the third part of the 8th problem. So, after obtaining this mark, we will move on to the 4th part. In the 4th part, it says there were 10 new readers, out of whom 5 used books of all 3 languages, 2 used books of Sinhala and Tamil language books, and the remaining 3 used only English language books. So, to represent this data, we have to use a new Venn diagram. We will see what's it. Here, after removing this data, some data will come as they are, others will change. First, we have to change the Venn diagram like this, because it says there are 5 those who used books of all 3 languages. So, we have to represent this 5 in here in the middle. So, there should be a new region to represent this 5. So, accordingly, you have to change the Venn diagram in this manner. Here we have some of the previous data and some data will be updated. So, we will see what are they. Earlier also you had this 60, 17, 8, 20, then 10. What will happen to 10? It will become 12. Then here in this region, earlier it was 30 and now it will become 33. Okay. Likewise, this will be the new Venn diagram. Right. I think it is clear for you. Then you will get 1 mark for the new Venn diagram, and intersection of all 3 sets including 5, 1 mark for that. Marking 12 and 33, another 1 mark. Altogether, you can score 3 marks for this part. There is another part. Okay, quickly let us move on to that. In part 5, it says, according to the new Venn diagram, find the number of readers who used Tamil language books. So, Tamil language books represent this circle. So, once you add them, you will get the answer as 42. If you have done so, you will get 1 mark. So, that is the end of the 8th problem, and I hope all of you got 10 marks for that. Now, we have come to the last problem in this session. It is the 9th problem. There are 2 parts in this problem. We will see what are they. In part A, it says the points B, D, E and F lie on the circle shown in the figure. ABC is a tangent drawn to the circle at B. If CBD equals x and ABF equals 2x, express the value of FED in terms of x. State the reason for the answer clearly. Right, in part B, the points A, B, C, D lie on the circle shown in the figure such that AD is parallel to BC. Prove by giving reasons that BAD equals ADC. Right, first we will solve part A. Right, here look at the figure very carefully. Now, you can see this angle, this colored angle, what is it? Can you express in terms of x? How do you do that? Because sum of these 3 angles equals 180 degrees, sum of the angles on a straight line. Accordingly, you can find FBD equals 180 minus 3x. Right. Then here the reason is angles on a straight line, because you are asked to state the reason for the answer very clearly. So, you have to write both the relationship and also the reason for that relationship. Then look at this, you have another angle. What's it? What's the relationship between these two angles? Yeah, they are the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral. What do you know about sum of the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral? Yeah, it's the sum of them equals 180 degrees. Right, we can use that concept to find FED in terms of x. So, sum of these two angles equals 180 means FED can be obtained by subtracting 180 minus 3x from 180 degrees. Accordingly, you will get the value of FED in terms of x. What's it? FED equals 3x. And here you must state the reasons. For this step, the reason should be opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Right. If you have written these steps with the reasons, you will get marks like this. See, you can score 5 marks for this part. How easy, isn't it? Right. After obtaining 5 marks for this part, let's move on to part B. Right, now in part B, we have to prove by giving reasons that BAD equals ADC. We are given that AD is parallel to BC. Apart from that, no any other data. So, to do this proof, we have to do a construction. What's it? We can join AC and BD. Let's do it first. Okay. After that, we will see whether there are some relationships between angles in this figure. Right. Check whether you can observe this relationship. ADB and DBC, are they equal? Yes, of course. What are they? They are alternate angles. Since AD is parallel to BC, ADB equals DBC. Okay. Next, now look at this angle and this angle. They are again equal. Why is that? They are in the same segment of the circle. So, angles in the same segment are equal in magnitudes. Okay. Now, we have built up two relationships. Using these two relationships, we can come up with DAC equals ADB. Okay. Then, look at these yellow colored angles. They are also equal in magnitude. Again, with the same reason that angles in the same segment of a circle are equal. Right. Now, if we add this equation and this equation, you can see DAC plus CAB equals ADB plus BDC. DAC plus CAB means the angle DAB. Okay. Then ADB plus BDC means the angle ADC. So, finally, we prove the given relationship. So, for that you get marks like this. 1 mark for writing the construction, another 1 mark for writing the alternate angles. Likewise, identifying the relationship between DBC and DAC, you can get another mark. Likewise, you can obtain 5 marks for part B also. You can score total of 10 marks. Okay, dear students, we have come to the end of the session today. We hope you got a supportive seminar for the mathematics throughout our sessions. So, we wish you all the very best for your examination, and thank you very much for joining with us for this session.